Salina Board of Education meeting of April the 18th, 2016. Would you join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? Mr. Davis, roll call, please.
Mr. Gilmore? Mrs. Piper? Here. Mr. Shaw?
Here.
Mr. Schellenberger? Here. Mrs. Voorhees? Here.
There are 4 of 5 board members here, and it is time to set the agenda. Could I have a motion to that end?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
Second.
All right. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Piper?
Aye.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Mr. Schellenberger? Yes. Mrs. Voorhees?
Yes.
Thank you. Reception of the public. I see that Mr. Lorich and Mr. Scott are both here. Would you care to address the board?
Our presentations will be by Mrs. Lehman and Sheila Balta. They'll represent CBA today.
Oh, great. Is Mrs. Henderson here from Bootsy?
Mr. Jones is here.
Mr. Jones, where are you? There he is.
No, we don't have anything today.
Okay. Then let's go right into Mrs. Lehman's leadership song. And by the way, thank you all for coming. This is great.
Hello, my name is Dylan.
Hello, my name is Mason.
We are second graders from Mrs. Lehman's class.
These are our classmates standing behind us.
We have a very special song that we'd like to sing to you. It is special because it reminds us how important it is to always be the best that we can be and to set goals and follow them.
Our teachers had a meeting early one morning and they brainstormed lots of words that they thought were important to help us to be the best we can be.
They chose 3 words from all of those words to write a new mission statement for Salina Primary School. Those words are love, lead, and inspire. Our new mission statement is, at CPS we are dedicated to love, lead, and inspire our community to care for themselves and others. This mission statement is on our t-shirts that we are wearing this evening. We would like to thank all of the businesses who helped purchase these shirts for us. They are listed on the back of our shirts. We really appreciate that they care so much about helping us to learn how to love, lead, and inspire.
You will hear more words from that meeting in our song. They are thoughtful. This is Haley. Caring. This is Becca. Smart. This is Olivia. Kind. This is Kayla. Helpful. This is Ariel. And special. This is Avery.
Are you ready to hear our song? Cue the music, please.
Where I am is what's in me, and I'll take time to hold me, and I'll always be the best me that I can be. There's only one me I need, have a dream I follow it, it's up to me to try. Oh, I'll keep my head high, keep on reaching high, I can get stronger, and that's what brings me down. Stronger.
okay, and don't forget to always do the right thing, even when no one is watching.
I might just mention while that's warming up, the director and cast could be here. Hopefully they're resting. They have a 6 a.m. makeup call tomorrow morning. They're performing for the 7th graders at 8 o'clock at the auditorium, so they couldn't be here. But what I brought you is just a video clip from the opening number out of one of the dress rehearsals. And I want to tell you that they saw great audiences this weekend, and they'll be performing again this coming weekend with plenty of tickets left. So if you haven't seen the show, call. Let's see. Warmed up. I think we're ready.
is the regular next show? This coming Thursday, Friday?
Friday and Saturday, 8 o'clock, and Sunday afternoon at 3.
And then that's the end, isn't it? Very good. Thank you very much. It was interesting. Okay. Moving on to reception of the public.
Michelle, please thank Mrs. Lehman for bringing it up.
Yes, that was good. Thank you.
Next time, more. You were very excited.
You can tell.
Good job.
They did a great job. Teacher Appreciation Week. Mrs. Balzell, thank you for coming.
The theme for the 2016 Teacher Education Week is Thank a Teacher campaign with a hashtag in front of it. And across the nation, the National PTA and National Education Association are encouraging thank yous by sharing one of the following on social media during Teacher Appreciation Week, which is May 2nd through the 6th. You can put a picture of yourself with your favorite teacher, past or present, a picture of your child with his or her teacher, a picture of yourself holding a piece of paper with a simple message saying thank you to a teacher and why you're thanking him or her. Teachers give us so much, a boost of confidence when we really need one, extra help when we're having trouble, a welcoming presence when everything else seems out of control, and though we know we can't thank them enough, we can take a moment during National Teacher Appreciation Week to share our appreciation for the special educators in our lives. And they remind us again to use the hashtag Thank a Teacher when sharing. And I did see that President Obama actually had done that already this week. So, you're probably wondering what we're going to be doing in Salina schools, and the Professional Relations Committee has some plans. May 2nd through the 6th, we will see posters on the walls, special announcements by the principals, special emails to the staff prepared by Betsy Kreitz, and in some buildings there will be teacher treats and snacks. We are, as a CEA group, encouraging donations to our scholarship fund. And on May 3rd, we will celebrate National Teacher Day, which was first recognized by the First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt in 1953, who had the first National Teacher Day. We are going to have our celebration of education then, which is put on by the board and the CEA, and that is May the 4th, May the 4th Wednesday. Everyone's invited, including our retirees. We'll have refreshments at 4 o'clock and a program at 4:30 in the lecture hall. Mayor Jeff Hazel will be there to give us a proclamation, and the new retirees are going to be honored that night. And also CEA will donate $50 to each school library for books to be added to the collections for the children.
Thank you, Mrs. Balzo. And if there are no retirees to be recognized, it's just a reception. Does that sound right?
That's correct.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
There are, there's at least one classified, classified, that's all I know of.
Okay, very good. Thank you. So let's see, as a board, we are to, if we can, we would be there at 4 o'clock on Wednesday, May 4th. And that's going to be where?
It's going to be in the cafeteria, the refreshments first, and they're always great. And then we have the program afterwards. at
In here.
4:30.
Very good. Okay, thank you. Dr. Schmeezing, anybody else for reception?
I believe everyone signed up.
Okay, very good. Then let's move on to the approval of the consensus agenda. I need a motion for that. I'll make a second.
Under my reports, I have number 1, approve the minutes of the March 14 regular and April 6, 2016 special Board of Education meeting. Approve the checks written for March of 2016 of $3,592,134.71. Approve the revenues and expenditures for March. Total revenues were $5,993,241.65. Total expenditures for March 2016 were $3,668,997.71. Approve the investments for the period. Balance as of April 11, 2016 is $15,496,096.64. Approve the SM2 report for March 2016. Approve a now and then to Perry ProTech in the amount of $7,269.80. Approve an amended annual appropriations resolution. And if I could point out, there is one misprint on this, and I do apologize to the board for that. Under 524, the Perkins grant, the proposed amount is actually the amount of the increase. That dollar amount should be 122,905.02. Again, I apologize for that error.
Say that number one more time. 122-90502, is that correct?
That's it.
And you're saying the 1,617 is the difference between the present and the proposed, correct? Okay.
Yep.
Now, I do see on 004,
Yep.
present was at zero appropriations for softball. Does that correlate with the investments for softball field construction on attachment 3?
Actually, what it is, it's money that was raised prior to the $125,000 project. What actually Nicole would like to do is to use that money toward brick pavers and other projects out there. I hadn't included any appropriations at the beginning of the year because I wasn't sure if we were going to use those funds or not. She stated she would, so we're going from the zero amount up till about how much money we have left in that account.
Okay. Thank you.
Any further questions? I'm sorry, where were you on your report? You were down to 525, is that correct?
Actually, I just usually let you go over the amounts there, and I don't read them out loud.
Okay.
Nick, on number 6, the now and then for Perry ProTech, is that the same contract as attachment 3 on this resolution?
Actually, that is the end of the old contract. Every year we pay out an annual, basically it's like we get a certain amount of copies, we go over that certain amount of copies and we pay the difference. The $72.69 is that amount, and it's usually paid in August or September. Since we're ending the contract early, we have to pay that out. We weren't prepared with the purchase order.
Okay. And then the later attachment is for next year's group.
For the new, yes, correct.
Thank you.
I also have a question regarding Fund 590, that might have been in an attachment that I missed. The improving teacher quality, $133,876. Would you explain that one?
How the fund itself?
What is it used for?
That is Title 2A, it's title money, and it is used basically as any type of way to improve the teacher quality through either a reduction in classroom sizes or for professional development.
So would that include tuition cost if they're going back to get their master's or master's plus?
We take that out of the general fund.
Okay.
This is more for professional development that comes along during the year. Mr. Lukey is in charge of this account. He does various programs, things like that he uses this money for.
The money that comes out of the general fund for tuition, that is a formula, however, correct? I mean, we pay 33% of their tuition, or is it a designated amount?
It's a designated amount as per the contract.
Okay.
Yep.
And that amount you probably anticipated in the salaries
It goes under fringe benefits, yep.
under fringe benefits.
Yep.
Okay. Anyone else? Thank you, Mr. Davis. Moving along then to the Assistant Superintendent's report, Mr. DeCiu.
Okay, under personnel, items 1 through 3, recommend the approval to hire Lori Knapshafer, teacher assistant at the high school, Linda Kaiser, bus aide at Head Start, Kelly Gillis, cafeteria worker at Head Start. Item 4, recommend the approval for a change of contract for Tammy LaRue from office aide at the middle school to to secretary at Head Start. And then items 5 and 6, recommend the approval to accept a 60-day probationary contract for Carol Schmiel, teacher assistant at Head Start, and a 45-day probationary contract for Sandy Jeffries, cafeteria manager at the primary school. Under resolutions,
Excuse me real quick, any questions regarding personnel? If not, I have one back to Tammy LaRue, which is number 4. She's moving from the middle school to Head Start.
yes,
Is she going to be replaced at the middle school?
yes.
Okay, and have we seen that person's contract yet or proposed? It is not posted yet. Very good. Thank you. You may continue, Mr. Trubisky.
Okay, under resolutions, number 1, recommend the approval of the following price increases for type A lunches for the 2016-17 school year. There was no changes in any of the breakfast prices. All of the schools except the high school increased by 10 cents and the high school lunch increased by 15. Just an FYI, those are ODE mandated lunch equity price increases, so we don't have a choice. We have to increase those.
Would you define type A lunch?
It's just your everyday lunch.
Okay.
Item 2, recommend the approval to advertise bread and milk bids for the 2016-17 school year. And the last item, recommend the board accept the premium of $75,107 from Stolly Insurance with the Ohio School Plan for 1 year, July 1st, 2016 through August 31st, 17.
And where does that compare with the premium from 15 to 16?
It's exactly the same.
Okay.
And we're in a 2 of a 3-year contract.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gieseke. Dr. Schneezing.
Under personnel, we are asking for approval of the following substitutes for the 15-16 school year: Patricia Franzer and Karen Utterback. Number 2, approve the resignation of Andrew Cloud, intervention specialist at the high school, effective August 15th, 2016. Next, we are approving the following 3-year teaching contracts for the years 2016 to 2019. Pending proper licensure: Chris Ansel, Steve Bader, Mark Hiley, Kelsey Johns, Michelle Langmeyer, Ashley Luth, Carol Mertz, Melissa Messick, Andy Mikesell, Matt Paulus, Sean Schneider, Jackie Spencer, Ryan Turnmeyer, Andy Weish, Kyle White, Aaron Winter, Renee Winter, and Sarah Zapka. Number 4, approve the following 1-year teaching contracts for the 16-17 school year pending proper licensure: Brett Bacher, Sarah Baumstark, Laura Becker, Angela Brown, Brittany Geer, Jamie Guttemiller, Joey Braun, Heather Seifering, Joel Trissel, Andrea Graves, Amanda Stuckey, Kelsey Gudorf, Michelle Roadhouse, Kate Harner, Christy Hess, Megan Hiley, Cassie Holstad, Paige Mertz, Crystal Niekamp, Emily May, Ali Slavik, Libby Riley Newell, Crystal Gates, Pete Lisi, Becky Posada, Christine Schlater, Toby Seifering, Stacy Stetler, Amanda Sudoff, Trent Temple, Tess Watson, Sarah Piper Garnell, Kelsey Place, Catherine Dirksen, Amanda Temple. Number 5, approval of the following personnel for the 16-17 summer school positions as needed: Chris Antle, Mary Blair, Cindy Busher, Tracy Brockman, Lori Davis, Erica Drace, Jill Hess, Mark Hiley, Samantha Clanky, Renee Kramer, Amy Lutke, Carol Mertz, Tressie Sigmund, Pam Silliman, Ali Slavik, Amy Stallman, Amanda Stuckey, Terry Westcurtis, Kylie Will. Number 6, approve the change in the supplemental contract for Amanda Sudoff at 0.5 FTE for middle school cheerleader. So that advisor will go from 0 years experience to 5 years experience, and that is for the current school year. Number 7, approve the following supplemental contracts for 16-17 pending proper certification: Trent Temple, head varsity football; Tyler Folks, assistant varsity football; Brennan Bader, assistant varsity football; Brett Bacher, assistant varsity football; Steve
Bader, assistant varsity football. Joey Braun, head 8th grade football. Jason Triblett, head coach for 7th grade football. Matt May, middle school cross country. Amy Sutter, head varsity volleyball. Christy Binkley, 8th grade volleyball. Ryan Jenkins, head boys soccer. Kyle White, JV boys soccer. Kelsey Johns, head girls golf. Toma Henline, assistant girls tennis. Approve the following personnel for pupil activity program contracts for 16-17 pending proper certification. Jim Kimmel, assistant 8th grade football. Dan Otten, head cross country. Matt Loigers, assistant boys soccer. Kel Freeman, head girls soccer. Aaron Daniels, head boys golf. Jan Morrison, head girls tennis. Sandy Phelps, varsity cheerleader advisor. Under resolutions, approve a 1-year contract with Northwest Ohio Educational Technology for unlimited media center rentals at a cost of $1.95 per student. Number 2, approve a 5-year contract with Perry ProTech for copying and for the new machines. And on the addendum, under the resolution to approve the OPSI Memorandum of Understanding, which extends the length of the contract to August 31st, 2018. So that gives them 1 additional year. That last year would have a 1% increase for the 17-18 school year. And there'll be a restoration of this, a step in the first year and also a step in the 3rd year. I shouldn't be saying steps, those are actually for years of experience. Thank you, Mr. Sell.
Questions?
Number 6, the serious experience 5 years on the middle school shooter, was that just an oversight in the original?
That is correct, yes, that was made to adjustment, they turned in the documentation. We didn't have that documentation at the time, and we now have it.
I have a question regarding, I'm sorry, did you have another question? It's like Section 8, Dr. Schmeezing, where we're approving the following personnel for pupil activity program. I would assume these are coaching positions.
That is correct.
Kyle Freeman, head girls soccer, I thought he had announced that he was resigning that position. Is that not correct?
That is not correct.
Okay, he is going to coach girls soccer this coming fall.
Correct.
Any other questions? I do have a question regarding substitutes. We approved a couple of people to add to the substitute list. So if someone in the community wants to be on the substitute list, they have to go through the
Mercer County Educational Service Center.
Okay, get fingerprinted, get cleared, and then they're good to go.
Correct. If they have a bachelor's degree, that pretty much qualifies them if they have a clear background check.
Okay, anyone else? Questions? Moving right along, where are we? TriStar.
For TriStar, recommend establishing. I skipped over. No, I read that already.
I don't think so.
That was the original one. NWOET.
Okay.
I thought I did it as well. Yes. So under TriStar, number 1, recommend establishing Thursday, June 9th, 2016 at 7 p.m. at 1359 Tollville, Salina, the TriStar house site for the annual house auction and to allow advertising for the auction. Under the Head Start report, we have attachment 4 and attachment 5. I'd like to welcome Amy Esser up to the microphone at this time.
Can everybody hear me okay? I just wanted to present to the board our Head Start annual self-assessment. And to give you a little bit of background, the self-assessment is mandated by our federal regulations. We have to complete it annually, and you usually do this late winter, so it'll be February, March of each year. So in your attachment package, you'll see there was a self-assessment plan that had the timeline. We started in January, and we are actually finishing tonight with your approval of this report. I also provided a narrative, in your packet, and instead of reading all of it, I'm just going to hit the highlights. I wanted to let you know that the tool that we use can be found on eClick, which is the Office of Head Start website, and it's referred to your Foundation for Building Program Excellence. According to our timeline, we provided trainings to all of our team leaders, and we conducted that through the month of February. We also presented at Policy Council and invited community members, board members, and our parents to participate in it. One of the things, because we are a smaller grantee, assigning team members to complete the self-assessment, I have to be really thoughtful. You can't have somebody assess the area that they actually supervise. So we kind of flip-flop, and it's actually one of the better ways to really understand your program. I also always like to highlight the fact that confidentiality is a very big deal to me. Everyone has the right to confidentiality, so I did a training on confidentiality, and I have that highlighted as well in the self-assessment. So, areas of strength that we found a lot of areas of strength, actually. For education, the curriculum that we use is called Creative Curriculum, and our staff are very well educated and very well versed in it. And the assessment tool that we use is called Teaching Strategies Gold. These are the, in their fields as far as curriculum and assessment tools, these are in the top of the tools that are available for preschool programs. So we're using a quality tool to assess how well children are doing. Also, Head Start mandates that we provide services to at least 10% of our total enrollment. Those children have to be identified to be receiving IEP services. At Mercer County Head Start, we actually collaborate with the ESC and provide services to 18% of our children are identified as receiving IEP services. So we go well above and beyond. Communication and record keeping, we implemented a new database software this year. It's called COPA, and it really does everything that you could possibly imagine except walk and talk. It tracks everything for us, our families, demographics, referrals and follow-up, progress, staff, professional development. It's all in there for us. So it's a nice, wonderful system for us to have. Family engagement. Mercer County is a very well connected community, and you have lots of community supports here, and our staff are part of that. And so families are able to get services that they need. Safety planning for our kids getting on and off the bus. We have a couple different systems that ensure that children are released to who they are supposed to be released to on time, and that there's communication with the caregiver at that time. Fiscal, the way we are set up, the treasurer's office is actually our fiscal agent, and because we are in separate facilities, that helps with checks and balances. And Mr. Davis has supports in his office that ensure that our money goes where it needs to go, and there are certain rules and regulations that we have to follow. So I anticipate that our audit will be perfectly fine this year. Areas of opportunity, I never like to say areas of weakness, I always say areas of opportunity because you can only get better. So for us, one of the biggest areas that popped up was health needs for our families and children. We had a significant amount of children who did not receive well child exams. They did not have dental care, and we are mandated to ensure that they have lead, hematocrit, or hemoglobin screens. And those weren't happening for a variety of reasons. We really honed in on dental needs. There are only 2 dental providers in Mercer County that will see families who receive Medicaid funding, and that's just not enough. So that's something that we're going to try and do some work on and advocate possibly at the state level for this community. Also, in addition, any of our children who come in who have allergies or have asthma require EpiPens. We have to do special plans of actions for those, and we need to just get better of ensuring that all staff are trained on that parents are aware that their medication needs to be with them every day, that we need doctors, physician notes to do that, and to ensure that that paperwork follows children in a timely manner. Our family advocates, I have 2 family advocates that provide services to 158 families, so they carry a caseload of about 80 apiece. Head Start recommends that family advocates have a caseload of 45 to 50. So they're carrying almost double, which leads to other issues. Some of the follow-up, being able to do their home visits, provide services, be involved in the community. Those things kind of get shoved up off to the side because they just don't have time. So that was an area that we see as an opportunity as well. And as far as management systems, really just trying to centralize all of our information and build a database within our agency so that when a new staff person is hired, they can go in, they can find all of the information. Head Start has its own world of rules and regulations, and when you work there, you have to know those. So we live in two worlds. We live within Salina City Schools, and we live within Head Start. So we have to learn two different systems. I also identified school readiness as an area of opportunity, and just for the fact that we want everyone to know what we are doing to ensure that our kids are school ready. Community partnerships. We currently do not have any established partnerships with child care facilities in the community, and this is the wave of the future for Head Start. They are saying that they want you to serve families where they are. And in your community, you actually have a lot of working families, so kids are going to child care. So they are pushing Head Starts to partner with child cares who are already established, so kids they stay in one place, we decrease the amount of transitions, and we just provide Head Start services right there at their child care facility. So that's an area that we need to work on. Another area that the staff were very adamant, they would really like to have a fence around our playground out in Montezuma. It would make the teachers feel a lot safer because they are constantly watching children. And if you've been out to Montezuma, we have a beautiful playground, and it's surrounded by a large field of grass, which is just opportunity for kids to run. And we are responsible to make sure that kids are safe at all times. So they would really like a fence. So once we went through and identified our areas of strength and our areas of opportunity, taking a strengths-based approach, what could we do? How can you use your strengths to build on your areas of opportunity? So we identified 3 immediate needs for planning, and that was URSIA, which I didn't go over. That is how families get into our program. Management systems and family engagement. For long-term planning, we looked at health, disabilities, and communication. And in my narrative, I speak to the playground concerns for the teachers. So, in the board's packet, there's also a very long plan. And this is how myself and the management team came up with our response to this and what we will be working on for the next year to ensure that we improve the services that we provide families and children in this community. So, because this is a mandated federal requirement, it does require action by the board. So I need your approval. Do you have any questions?
So Mrs. Esser, any questions?
I don't have a question, but this is the first time here I've ever been part of the Head Start and the latest board liaison, and I am really impressed. And it's a good, and I would put a double whammy on that. Just because it is an area of concern and seeing what are options that the kids have.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, agreed. Helping with your self-assessment was an eye-opener for me. It was impressive. Yeah.
I was there the day the dental bus was there. And just to see all those kids mostly enjoying their dental visit was really a great thing to see.
Before we brought the dental van in, we serve 158 kids between Salina and Rockford. And out of 158, I had over 80 children who had not been to a dentist yet. So to provide services, we contacted Ohio Dental, and it's a dental van, and they came in and one day saw 60 of our kids. We bused them from Rockford down to Salina so we could get them in. And we have a high proportion of those children who need follow-up care. And it's in my narrative. Some of the kids we had to refer cleared Fort Wayne Dayton Children's, Columbus Nationwide, and even Indianapolis for the care that they need. So dental is a need in this community, so.
Were they voluntary, the dentists that came in the dental van?
Actually, it's funded. You can go online. Dental Access Now is the lobbyist group in Columbus. They, dental care in Ohio is a problem. It's recognized at the state as this is something that we need to do. And so funds have been set aside through lobbyist groups so that they will pay for this. So when our kids, there's paperwork you have to do. We obtain their medical card. If they have a medical card, they'll straight bill their medical card. If they don't have a medical card, if they don't have any insurance or their private insurance won't cover it, Head Start picks up that cost.
There were some comments that Mrs. Essler and I had shared in regards to if we do put a fence up around that playground, it would be one that would not have a locked gate.
Right.
So it would still be available to the community if people brought their kids out as well. It would help them in supervising their own children. But we certainly want to have that playground available for the community to use.
That self-assessment, does that require a special vote from us?
As part of the
Since it's a
consensus.
consent, I just wondered if it required anything specific. Okay, you're gonna be good to go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right, removal of items from the consensus agenda, is there anything that we should take off?
I need to remove C4.
Which is,
The one-year teaching contract. You need to abstain from voting on that item.
oh, okay. Gotcha. So, since that's also part of the consensus agenda, she's just not going to.
No, we're first on the consensus agenda. and then
Okay.
consent.
Okay, gotcha.
And I did have a question before we move on. Nick, are you gonna serve as our auctioneer again for the Tri-Stock House?
I would be happy to.
So we're now ready for the preliminary meeting.
Mr. Shelbar?
Yes.
Mrs. Voorhees?
Yes.
Mrs. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. South?
Yes. Right, we're ready for the one-year teaching contract.
You need a motion first.
Yeah, we need a motion in a second to go on the second.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. South?
Yes.
Mr. Shelbar?
Yes.
Mrs. Voorhees?
Yes.
Mrs. Piper?
Abstain.
So we move on the 3-year contracts as well?
No, that was not.
Okay.
That was
She
part of
just
the
removed
consensus
this.
agenda.
Right.
Moving on to number 7, we have the second reading for the board policy and guidelines. That'd be on page 5. Under number 8, other business by the board and administration, we'll go back to the addendum.
As you can see on the addendum, we have an item, this is regarding the ability to do a levy, on-levy for the TriStar project 2.0. The first item we will vote on is a resolution requesting fiscal officer qualifying partnership to certify maximum maturity of bonds.
briefly for the public, would you explain what that is, Mr. Davis?
Basically what that is saying is, let's see, in a nutshell, I can just read this one, this one's pretty fast.
Okay.
Resolution requesting fiscal officer of qualifying partnership to certify maximum maturity of bonds. Whereas this Board of Education as fiscal board for a qualifying partnership as defined in section 33-1871-3 of the Ohio Revised Code, and the qualifying partnership contemplates the issuance of bonds in the sum of $17 million for the purpose of acquiring classroom facilities and necessary appurtenances. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Education of Salina City School District, County of Mercer, Ohio. Section 1, that the treasurer of this Board of Education, as fiscal officer of a qualifying partnership, is hereby requested to certify to this Board of Education the estimated life of the improvements, assets, and/or property to be made and/or acquired with the proceeds of the sale of the bonds referred to in the preambles hereof, and the maximum maturity of said bonds is provided in section 133.20 of the Ohio Revised Code. Section 2, that it is found and determined that all formal actions of this Board of Education concerning and relating to the adoption of this resolution were adopted in an open meeting of this Board of Education, and that all deliberations of this Board of Education and of any of its committees that resulted in such formal action were in meetings open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements, including section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. That's the end of that resolution.
Correct.
We need a motion to move to adopt that, and then a second.
I would make the motion.
Second.
And just want to make sure that people understand that building project is not for Salina City Schools.
Correct. Salina City Schools operates as the fiscal agent for TriStar, which is the career compact that Salina and 8 other school districts are a partnership of. And in so doing, Salina must act to acquire the $17 million in bonds on their behalf.
This is the TriStar project, and we are the fiscal officer, so to speak.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, motion and second.
Can I get as I call roll, I need an aye or a nay? Mrs. Piper?
Aye.
Mr. Supp?
Aye.
Mr. Schellebarger?
Aye.
Mrs. Voorhees?
And this is the total need for the project, or what the OSD unlimited fund?
This is the local share of the project.
Local share.
Yep.
Okay.
Total cost of the project, do we know that?
24 or 22 million, Tim, is that
Yep.
correct?
State share will be a little over 8 million.
And this is going to be out east of town?
On or near Wright State Lake. We are working on the land purchase of the lawyers, so that's taking a little longer than we anticipated, but that will not be a huge issue. Probably by your next meeting, you'll have that information in front of you.
But this is the purchase of the land and the buildings themselves?
This is all costs, from moving costs to equipment. There's a little contingency in that. That's assuming worst case scenario. You know, if we don't get any donations, we already have one donation of $50,000 from a company to help with several of our programs. That's not even really starting heavily into that. So this is everything from land purchase to safety issues out there. That will be a part of it. I know Wright State has actually agreed to let us use there's a right-of-way out there that will save us 2 or 3 acres of land we do not have to buy. So the next board meeting, you'll have probably a good presentation. We'll have drawings and everything of what it will all entail.
So just to make sure the public is aware, there will be, the voters in 9 separate school districts will be voting on this in August to generate $17 million for this project. Is that correct?
That is correct.
2 of them out of the county, 7 in the county. Wait.
5 and 4.
5 and 4. That makes more sense.
But it is 4 different counties where voters are in. Mercer, Auglaize, Dark, and Shelby.
Because the school districts got through a little bit.
Correct.
Now I will read the certificate as to maximum maturity of bonds. The undersigned hereby certifies that the estimated life or period of usefulness of the improvements, assets, and/or property to be made and/or acquired with the proceeds of the sale of 17 million of bonds to be issued for the purpose of acquiring classroom facilities and necessary appurtenances is at least 5 years, and the maximum maturity of said bonds as computed pursuant to section 133.20 of the Ohio Revised Code is in excess of 15 years. However, the maximum maturity of the bonds shall be 15 years pursuant to board action as determined by section 5705.2113C of the Ohio Revised Code. What this is saying is that bonds typically have a 15-year life or longer. As per revised code, we must go 15 years or longer, and we're stating that we're actually going 15 years on the proposed bond. Acting as the treasurer of the board, I sign that certificate, which moves us on to the next resolution declaring the necessity of bond issue and of tax levy and submitting the question to the boards of education of the participating school districts. This one's quite a bit longer. I'll go ahead and I will summarize for you if that's okay.
That'd be fine.
What this one is saying is that this one gives us the authority to go to the other technically 9 school districts, including Salina. Once everything is done here today, we will submit this paperwork to the county auditor, who will then in return give us a millage amount. Once that is passed, we'll then have a resolution for each of the 9 school districts that they will pass and say that they agree that they want to go ahead as part of the partnership to conduct the bond levy.
So the millage amount has to be the same in every district?
Correct. What they'll do is they'll come up with an assessed value of the 9 districts. The county auditor will certify that. He will then take that assessed value and come up with a millage amount based on the $17 million request.
And that requires a motion?
Correct.
So moved.
As before, please answer with aye or nay. Mr. Sell?
Aye.
Mr. Schellenberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Voorhees? Mrs. Piper?
Aye.
So adopted this 18th day of April, 2016. Then I will also turn in this certificate as well. It states that the foregoing is a true and correct copy of the resolutions that we were voted on here tonight. Once the auditor gets that in his hands, he'll give me a receipt as shown on that page, and then he will begin his part of the process to get those numbers certified and the millage amount returned to us. Just for the board's information, we will require a special meeting after that number is garnered, because this all has to be done before May 1st.
Okay.
So we've had some pretty good time crunches, and we've been doing a good job staying on task. It's just there's a lot that's been done to keep this going and get it on the ballot for August.
So are there other boards of education meeting tonight?
No, they will not be able to vote on their resolution until it's certified by the county auditor.
Okay.
Yep.
We have to do all the legwork to begin with, and then they can follow through.
Correct. And then we will have to follow through after that. We'll have a second set of resolutions that will pass.
And what did you say that date was, May the?
I believe it was May the 2nd, but
We
Because
want
we'll
to
be
be,
on the ballot August 2nd.
yes. That has been pushed because the companies have asked us to do this as fast as possible, because they want to get this going. And they actually wanted it in March, and we couldn't pull that off. It's pretty hard. It's a lot more being a compact and it's never been done before. It's been a lot of, and Mick's done a nice job of getting this all together. There's been a lot of people with special meetings and with conference calls getting this together, because it's been an experience.
I think I might have asked this of Mr. Davis one time, but it does take unanimous support from all the districts before we can go forward with this.
That is correct.
All 9 votes would have to have a majority of their board vote yes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Davis.
Are there any other questions regarding the bond levy for TriStar?
Under item 9, informational items, we will begin June 1st of 2016 doing central registration. So we have a family registering their children for school. Instead of starting out at each of the individual buildings, they will start off with Jenny Ackerman in the Ed Complex. So she is going to be coordinating central registration starting this year. She was involved with the kindergarten registration already. So I think she has that pretty well in control, and she's ready to move forward with that.
Anything else?
We do have approximately 13 minutes until Cheryl Ryan will be here. That will be a work session, but that will be part of the board meeting. That will be an open session for everyone to stay for, if you would like.
If you choose.
Stay here, I'm not going to differ.
We want to do a small room, probably. Okay, and we will go to a smaller room unless there's a demand for a larger venue. So will most of you opt not to attend the work session? And I see by nodding, not nodding off, nodding in agreement. Okay. So I think we'll probably go to the room right down here. 119, yeah. But thank you for attending, those of you that are choosing not to attend the work session.